fourth or fifth Belisarius Cord I've built.
Really?
Yeah.
I've built one before. I've built a singular Belisarius Cord, and I painted it.
I've done AdMech a good few times. I did an AdMech army for someone else, and then
Who should not be named.
yeah. But yeah, I've done AdMech a few times. And yeah, this is the fourth or fifth one now. He's a cool model.
He's a cool model, but I don't like building him.
Slugman.
Yeah, I'm not a fan.
He's cool. He's much better now.
The thing is with a lot of the AdMech stuff is they have loads of like weird piping and cabling and servo skulls floating around that just screaming to get broken.
Yeah. I really like it as an aesthetic, but it's not conducive to a healthy lifestyle.
Yeah.
Of just screaming.
Yeah. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for joining us on this. It's a beautiful day outside, actually. It's beautiful blue skies and sunshine down here, but it also is quite cold, actually.
I love it.
It's like 14 degrees or something. It was quite chilly Celsius.
I'm entering my real basic bitch phase now.
Yeah.
Of just like, I just love the simple things, you know.
It was 6 degrees when we got out of bed this morning.
Oh, it's great. It's so cold.
Yeah.
I put the heating on last night as well.
Did you?
Yeah, I was fucking freezing.
Oh, I didn't do that.
I was so cold. I was so hot cold, my knees hurt.
Your knees hurt?
Yeah, I'm at that age now.
Is it because you're old?
Yeah.
I realise I haven't changed the ISO on my camera since last night's hobby stream.
Is it super bright?
So it's super bright.
Yeah.
So we need to go back to the standard ISO for the normal stream. There you go, that's better. Now we look normal again. I'm a bit not with it today, Joe, I'll be honest. It's chaos times right now because of Hobby House. Things are getting quite busy, so I'm a bit all over the place, hence we're a couple of minutes late. But we are back with a Liam and Joe show for you wonderful humans. And today's Liam and Joe show is about models. So because it's about models, I wanted to do some modelling at the same time. On top of which, I also had Luce in the studio yesterday practicing with the deck for the soon-to-be monthly AOS shows.
Yeah.
So I had to move all the cameras back over here for the AOS shows. I didn't want to come in and move them all the way back over there again for the podcast, move them back over here again for tonight. Basically, I was being a bit lazy.
Yeah?
And I wanted to build models, and I'm currently on a mad Emperor's Children hype.
That's fair.
I actually want to play them tonight, chat. I want to use them again tonight. I said I was going to do Ultramarines, but I kind of want to play the Conceited Detachment this evening.
The coterie.
So,
the wearers of coats.
Let's talk about the elephant in the room, chat.
Yeah.
Games Workshop yesterday. Was it yesterday? It was yesterday, wasn't it? Yesterday, announced a new box set. And I'm very torn on this box set. I'd love to know what you guys think about it, but I'm very torn on this box set. The reason why I'm very torn on this box set is because, fuck me, we've had a lot of power armor lately and a lot of Space Marine stuff. And I think, do I think we needed new Assault Terminator models? Yeah. Do I think that they are actually quite nice models? Yeah. Do I think that we should be seeing those before things like Drakari refreshes or Grey Knight refreshes or a multitude of other fucking factions and data sheets you could probably think of refreshes? No. Absolutely not.
Yeah.
No.
I want them. I fucking love them. I think they're great. I love Space Marines. Space Marines are the best. They're the best faction. And to be fair, this is the first generic Space Marine unit we've had released for a while.
What are you talking about?
Well, what came before this? Generic Space Marine.
There's been loads of generic Space Marine stuff this edition.
Yeah, but...
We recently, literally like 2 weeks ago, here's a captain with the power...
Yeah, but he's not been released yet.
He's still a generic Space Marine unit.
Yeah, but they're all going to come out, but he's not been released yet.
Literally like a fortnight. Here's a captain with a Thunderhammer and a Storm Shield.
Yeah, but they've not been released yet. They're like, oh, I'm going to show him off because he's coming out for Warhammer Day. But we had Space Wolves, and we had Templars, we had Blood Angels, but we've had no generic Space Marine stuff.
Apart from the whole launch box.
Yeah, 2 years ago.
I mean, that's still more than most factions have had this edition, though.
2 years ago.
So you say 2 years ago where you had the new Infernus Marines, the new Terminators, the new Captain in Terminator armor, the new Librarian in Terminator armor, the new Chaplain in Terminator armor. Then you had the multi-part plastic Terminator kit, plus the new easy to build Stern Guard, plus the new multi-part Stern Guard kit.
Yeah.
What Grey Knights had this edition?
Upgrade sprue.
An upgrade sprue, right? So
let's be honest here, but let's be honest.
When was the last time Grey Knights
had the dodo?
When was the last time Grey Knights had a new unit?
No one cares.
Exactly.
Games Workshop doesn't
Just
care.
proving my point.
Because Grey Knights are lame, right? Grey Knights should have just been in the Agents of the Imperium book and then just binned off as a faction.
No, they shouldn't.
Like Tyrannids had a release 2 years ago, but in your argument, basically the World Eaters should have even had a new character this edition then, because they had a whole new army 2 years ago.
Right.
So they didn't need anything now, then, did they?
Well, no,
your argument is like, well, they had stuff 2 years ago.
But their whole new army was the previous edition.
Yeah, but it was still 2 years ago. 2 years ago.
Well, it can't have been 2 years ago if it was previous edition, because 2 years ago is still 10th edition. So it's more than 2 years ago, isn't it?
Like a little bit. By a little bit, like 2 months. A year and 2 months.
Am I wrong here?
Just think
Drop pod, generic kit, thanks Ash.
Yeah. A drop pod. Yeah. I think you're just being a bit emotional.
I had an unbuilt box and a built box of Noise Marines, and I picked up the unbuilt one by accident this morning.
Of Noise Marines?
Yeah. Which is rather irritating. So all the bodies and torsos are built in at home.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can be bothered to just build the guns.
Yeah, just build all the guns.
I do need to build the guns.
You do need to build them.
But if I can be bothered.
He's got his little draggy cat tentacle gooblies. It's like testicles. He's got drags along the ground with him. Is that number 9?
Joe, we Grey Knight players are proud people. You're hurting my feelings.
Grey Knight players aren't people.
Grey Knights have had 2 characters since 2014. Precisely.
And be happy with it.
Precisely.
Right.
New Scouts last year as well. Yeah, okay, some more generic Space Marine stuff. Cool.
That's Kill Team release.
It's still generic Space Marines.
Yeah, but let's be honest, right? People start playing Warhammer because of Space Marines. Why? Like, there's new people flocking to this hobby because of the game Space Marine 2, right? I imagine that a lot of this stuff that's coming out now is so that it doesn't have to be released next edition. You know? Was that how it goes? Yeah, there it goes. Like they're getting it. Like I think we're going to get a lot of Space Marine stuff now, but where are we now? September, October, November, December. It's got 3 months left of the year, and then January, February, April. So we've got 6 months, right? Really, until the new edition hype starts. Roughly.
Yeah.
6 months is a long time. If you look at all the codexes that have been released in the last 6 months.
6 months clearly isn't a long time, because you said that it's 2 years ago since we had a generic Space Marine release.
Yeah, 2 years. Which is 4 times longer than 6 months. So I think the Space Marines are the start. And I think what we'll get after the Space Marine stuff is like the other factions. Like I hope we get new Tyrannid stuff. I hope we get new Chaos Space Marine stuff. I reckon most, but not all factions will get something on the lead up to the new edition, right? Whether it be a new characters or new units or like an upgrade sprue or a kill team. Because you've got to think, right, there's going to be a kill team between now and Christmas. Because that's every 3 months, I think.
Yeah, it's every 3 months.
Yeah, so there'll be one in December. The one that got shown off with the Night Lords and the Sisters of Battle and the Nightbringer, they said that was next year. So we don't even know what's in the new Kill Team box yet. And this one goes that way around. Does it? I fucking hate the connection point for this. I remember you. Just silliness. I think we'll get to see stuff. I want some new Tyrannid units. Obviously, anything Chaos would be great. I'd love to see like a new Chaos upgrade sprue released for maybe Iron Warriors, or because I'm waiting on the Breachers to get released for Horus Heresy, and then I'm going in for the Iron Warrior army. Obviously, I need to get my Night Lords done first. And then I know Tom really wants to play Iron Warriors as well, so like we could do like Iron Warriors versus Imperial Fists, the classic.
Really irritated.
If only you didn't have half-built boxes of models everywhere.
Well, I have a full built one. I just picked the wrong one up because I was in a rush to get out the door this morning. I don't really want to. I mean, I do need to build the guns, but I don't really want to build the guns today. I wanted to build the torsos and then spray all 12. CSM needs a full refresh on a lot of their stuff. Do they? Do you think they do?
So they need a multi-part release for the Venom Crawler and the Obliterators, but I reckon the Obliterators will get a multi-part release that also builds the fighty ones. I'd like to see alternate builds for the Venom Crawler with like a flamer. Would be cool. Havocs don't need replacing. Terminators don't need replacing. Although I'd like to see an upgrade sprue for Terminators, because there was artwork released of Chaos Terminators with Thunderhammers. Oh, I actually want that. You know, I want a Thunderhammer unit of Terminators. Mauler Fiends and Forge Fiends are fine. They need a new bike squad.
They definitely need a new bike squad.
They need a new bike squad for definite. I'd like to see a replacement for the what's it bloody called?
Dave. Defiler.
Defiler. You know what I meant.
Defiler. I know what you meant.
Crabman.
The second you did your crab claws, Joe, I know what you meant. Then.
Yeah, a new Defiler would be cool. Because we've got Chosen. I'm not keen on that kit, but we do have Chosen.
You're not keen on the Chosen kit, why?
No, they're too busy. There's too much going on.
You reckon?
Yeah, I think it's like
they're quite nice.
Games Workshop's going. So I find it really funny, right? There's two very strong opinions on how Chaos Space Marines should look, right?
Yeah.
One is how the community wants them to look, and one is how Games Workshop wants them to look.
And they're very different.
And they're very different things. Because Games Workshop's kind of released a bunch of Chaos Space Marine stuff, and the community's gone, well, how do we make this more Legion specific? So the only line of things that we've got access to is the Horus Heresy range. And I think the Chaos community is like, we love this kind of pseudo spiky / heresy vibe, where they've kind of got a bit of the heresy armor and a bit of the spikiness, and like we're quite happy with that. And then Games Workshop, when they release something, they're like, hey, do you like trim? Right, do you like trim with eyeballs and teeth and tentacles? And I don't like that so much. I like to have like my warbands with a couple guys who are a bit kind of like on the way, but I like them to be a bit not clean, but like a bit of smooth. The Emperor's Children actually is the best example of how I want my Chaos Space Marines to be.
What about Core Berserkers?
Core Berserkers, they were fine.
But 8-bound, you draw the line.
8-bound could have been something. They could have been something great, but instead,
Joe's really not a fan of 8-bound.
I hate the 8-bound. They're a bunch of people with kind of weird wolf flesh feet, and they're all straining to have a massive shit, and it's not good. Right?
I'd have thought they'd have been your people.
No. I think what's annoying is World Eaters is probably the way that I want my Chaos Space Marines to play, but I hate the models. And I don't want to find alternate models just to play World Eaters. I'd love to do the 30 Terminator World Eater list.
Yeah.
Because that's got a real Horus Heresy vibe to it. Because I could run a bunch of Hellbrutes like Contemptor Dreadnoughts, 30 Terminators, and a bunch of Berserkers, and I'll be happy. I think I'd go down that route quite happily. Someone said the Hellbrute needs an update because that's a bit...
I don't hate that kit. You despise
I
it.
don't like it because it's basically monopose.
It is.
And I'm a big fan of, obviously, the Leviathan and the Contemptors and stuff. The Possessed are fine. I really like the new Possessed.
I've never built the new ones.
Yeah. What I want for Chaos is just the generic space, the chapter specific update for Chaos, which is like the Night Lords. I want an Iron Warriors upgrade sprue. I want a Word Bearers. I want one for every Legion, just so we can.
So what we're saying is they should spend less time just doing generic Space Marine updates.
Well, the thing is, though, we need the generic Space Marine update done, right? I think Games Workshop realises that once they get it done, they can move on. Because now we've got Assault Terminators on the way, and we've actually finally got an Ancient model, and we've finally got the Smash Captain. The only updates that need to come now are Vanguard Vets, and then you've got Firstborn, which is the...
Probably they're going to go, aren't they?
See, I reckon they won't.
You reckon?
I reckon... Well, so there's I've got two schools. I don't think they will go and will get like an upgrade for them. But I reckon maybe the starter box set is newly updated.
I really can't see that happening.
Tactical squads and stuff. Or there's all this talk of the Scouring happening.
Okay.
All tactical Marines, all Firstborn just get pushed into the Scouring. Because that's obviously when Gilliman writes the Codex Astartes. So all Firstborn Marines will go into that, and then the Firstborn Marines will just get a full range refresh in that. That's where I reckon it will go. So once all the generic Space Marine stuff's done, I think we'll start to get more chapter-specific stuff coming through.
I don't want more Space Marine stuff, though.
Yeah, but there's always going to be Space Marine stuff. Because Space Marines are literally the face of Games Workshop. Also, you've got the computer game Space Marine, which is a massive selling point, and Dawn of War, which is a massive selling point, and the full of Space Marines. And people go, I want to get into Warhammer, I know Space Marines, because there's a computer game about Space Marines. So they go into Games Workshop and they go, Space Marines.
Yeah, right. And they've already got enough stuff to service them. There's 170 odd fucking data sheets or something stupid.
I reckon there'll be another culling into the new edition.
But my point stands. Like the argument about Space Marine and Dawn of War is largely irrelevant because we already have more Space Marine data sheets and more Space Marine products than any other faction.
The thing is, though, the problem is I love Space Marines. And I adore Terminators, and I've wanted Assault Terminators for ages.
And they are beautiful.
Yeah.
I'm not saying they're a bad product.
Yeah.
They are fucking gorgeous. I'm just questioning the way in which Games Workshop are releasing things. Hey, you like your Space Marines? Have more Space Marines.
Well, the thing is, though, we've hit the end of the edition. We've had Drukhari. Drukhari are obviously getting a full range refresh next edition.
Obviously, do you reckon? Obviously. I wouldn't call it obviously. I don't think it's definite.
I reckon it will. So we could be seeing now a go-through of the editions for releases, right? So Space Marines, so I'm hoping the next announcement will be a Tyrannid thing. And then what came after Tyrannids? In the chat, who came after Tyrannids? I want to say Necrons and Admech.
I don't actually remember.
I think it was
Necrons
and Admech. So you might get like an Admech release. A Necron release.
I just think those people that are coming to find the hobby because of things like space, and it happens, you're not wrong, that happens. They've got so much stuff that already services them. What they should be doing is going, cool, so you've come because you like Space Marines, here's all this other super cool shit that you can now look at and buy as well as your Space Marines. Rather than, here's just more Space Marines.
Your mum, great. But the thing is though, like, if Games Workshop knocks out all the Space Marine stuff now, right, in the next edition, they go, when the Codex comes out, because part of me thinks that next edition, the Codex is going to be core Codex and then all the chapters are separate supplements.
Do you reckon?
And then each supplement will come with a chapter upgrade sprue. So then they don't have to release the new units. The Codex releases just come with the simple stuff.
So you're suggesting that 10th edition is the big reset, essentially?
Yeah. I've been saying it for ages. Like, this is the edition of Loss, the clean out, the get rid of all the stuff. And then now we're going to start to see here's the big push now to make the game massive. So in the next edition, they don't have to concentrate so much on Space Marines because they go, here's new Admech releases. Because Admech's doesn't need that, but as an example, they go Admech, here's new Sisters, here's new Drukhari, here's new Grey Knights, here's new Death Watch, here's new blah, right? And they can just concentrate on the stuff that's not Space Marines.
Yeah, good. Fucking bored of it.
I'm not. I love them. I really hope we get that box set. And if we don't, I'll be first in the queue to get Terminators. I'm just going to cover my face in Terminators and just roll around on the floor.
Yeah.
I just want full Lysander Terminator army.
Reasonable.
Yeah, I've already written my list.
Of course you have.
2,000 points on the dot. It's glorious. But can we talk about the box set though?
We
That
can.
you hate. With
No, you see, this is where Joe does Joe things. I think the box is amazing.
Yeah.
I think the models look great. I've seen a lot of people saying that they're not that blown away by them and they look a bit dull. I think they look...
Those people are dead.
For generic Space Marine Terminators, for generic Space Marine Assault Terminators, I think they look fine. I have no issue with them at all. I think they look really good. I think the box looks good. I think it's a good, depending on the price point, I think it is just a good solid box.
So I priced up all the units in, because basically all the Terminator characters on the Games Workshop website are the same price. Mm-hmm. They're like 20 something pounds, £24. And then assuming the new Terminators are the same price point as the current Terminators, they're like £42.50 or something. I priced it up. It's about 230, 240 quid. So I was like, 150 quid box set. Calling it now, 150 quid box set. And that's a bargain, really. So from your other companies, it'll be about 120, 115-ish, I reckon, depending on what kind of discount they give. I think it's good. The Chaplain's a great model. The head is pretty bad, but the poses can be made to look really nice on him. Just Games Workshop just posed theirs in this really horrible CAD. But the Chaplain is fine. The new Ancient is stunning. I love a flag. Fucking love it.
I feel like when commenting on whether models are nice or are not, you're just incredibly biased.
Why?
The Ancient's cool. He's not stunning.
He's really nice.
He's just a Terminator with a flag.
Yeah, but the pose is good. He's on a heroic scale. It's all good. It flows. The design is very, very good.
I mean, he's average.
Like, yeah, but like, you're like you now compare everything versus bloody Logan.
No, I don't. I don't think
You're
Logan's
like, that is
best.
the pedestal I must reach.
I like Logan a lot. I think Logan's great.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't suggest that he is the best. I don't know if I'd even vote for him for Model of the Year at the moment. There's a lot's come out this year.
Yeah.
A lot's come out this year, to be fair. Like Lucius is fucking beautiful. I love the detail on him. I don't know if I love his pose enough for Model of the Year. I'm not sure. Lycus and all the other Phoenix ones that came out are also stunning. Lycus is in with a shot. Yeah. But I actually really like Fugin as a model for the detail. I just think the pose is a bit dull. The Ancient with a flag is fine. He's fine. But he's not stunning. He's just a Terminator with a flag.
He is a Terminator with a flag. It's great. The new Assault Terminator is great. I reckon you'll get 5 Thunderhammer Storm Shields, 5 Lightning Claws. So I reckon in that box set with the 5 additional Terminators on top, you could probably do 10 Lightning Claw guys or 10 Thunderhammer Storm Shields and 5 Lightning Claw guys. It's really good. You got the generic captain, who's like meh. He's the weakest model, I think, in the Terminator line now. But I have converted one up to go with them already. I just love them. I just love Terminators.
I don't know what you guys think, chat.
I've even got at home Forge World Imperial Fist Storm Shields.
I want to know what you logical people out there think. You unbiased individuals. What do you think? Stick on postcards. We're also currently on 7 of the finest new members. And it would be great if this month we did right.
Nah.
So that when the Terminator box comes out, I can buy Joe a Terminator box. You can stop fucking whinging about it.
I'm not. Well, I haven't got it. You're whinging about it because it's bad.
I'm not whinging about it being bad. I'm whinging about.
You're dead inside.
I'm not whinging about the box being bad. The box is fine. I'm whinging about Games Workshop's priorities.
I reckon.
This is my issue. If you are a Grey Knight player or a Drakari player or to some extent, a Death Watch player, or this edition, a Demons player, and you're seeing the treatment the Space Marines get, you're going to feel like the fucking ginger stepchild. You're going to feel like you've been sat in the corner, spat on, and left there with no food, just to rot because no one fucking cares about you. In the meantime, to some extent, it's not just those. There's wider factions that have just had embarrassing releases. AdMech that you're building right now got a man on stilts, singular man on stilts. That was it.
First kill team. Kill team.
But I thought we weren't counting skill teams because we didn't count the scout kill team.
Oh, apparently we are.
Which is it then?
Like, it can't be part of a conversation where you guys include kill teams, but I don't. And then when in the examples, they've had kill team releases. Like, their range is pretty good though. I think as a whole, like everything they've got is good. I'd almost argue they've got too much stuff now. Got too much choice.
Fuck off! You can't say any faction, whilst championing Space Marines, has got too much choice.
Nah, Space Marines have got enough.
Fucking.
We need new Primaris heavy bolter squad. That's what we need, and new bikes.
I saw a man who did a thing, and I was going to send it to you, but I feel like you'd have just instantly wanted to spend loads of money. And he bought I think it's the Impulsor. Was it the Impulsor? No, it might have been a Gladiator or something.
Yeah.
And he bought the new Horus Heresy Tarantula turret thingy.
Oh yeah.
And he found that the missile pod fits perfectly in the turret placement thing.
Oh, nice.
So he was basically building a hover whirlwind, a Primaris whirlwind.
I love that.
Yeah, I thought you
Big
would.
fan. And
It looked cool as well, to be fair. It looked really nice.
I have got a whirlwind here, which I need to build and paint. Although they're mad points, though, the whirlwind. Like, they're pointed into insane levels.
You're paying for the early edition transgressions of anything indirect.
Yeah. God, there's so many teeny weeny bits on this geezer.
There is, yeah.
No, I'd like to see the entire Space Marine range just done before the new edition, obviously excluding what's in the starter box set. And then for the rest, and then throughout 9th, they just don't touch Space Marines.
Chat, I want you to get onto your postcards, right? And I want you to write a list of things that we should see before any more Space Marines.
Rude.
I reckon it's a fucking big list, I'll be honest. There's a lot of stuff. We're going to jump into chat in a minute and have a look at, because I see a few super chats coming through. Yeah. I'll have a look at what you said and start talking to wonderful human.
I'd like to see some new Tyrannid stuff, because obviously they Games Workshop just kind of forgot that the Tyrannid whole thing happened. What I want is the new Kill Team box set to be a new Tyrannid unit versus Tyrannic War Veterans.
Okay.
Because I want Tyrannic War Veterans so I can finally fulfill my Ultramarines dream. Because I don't feel like my Ultramarines dream is going to come to a head until that exists. And then I don't know what new Tyrannid stuff I'd like to see. Maybe. Well, I definitely want a plastic Hyrule. I want them to have a big thing.
You got the Norn emissary. What would you want?
I know, but I want. The problem about the Norn is he doesn't feel. He is physically big, but he doesn't feel big when you put him on the table. Right? He doesn't have a big presence. Obviously, he's quite resilient, but he's still only damage free in combat. He's AP 2 damage 3 with his 6 attacks. And I'm like, he's got less attacks than a Carnifex.
Yeah, it's not that terrifying nowadays, is it?
His combat is less efficient than just a Hive Tyrant. Strikes is what I'd like to see. Which is the flying Tyrannid warriors.
Yeah.
I want something that when you put it on the table, your opponent's like, oh fuck. I remember when in the early 2000s when I was playing Warhammer, so we're talking 4th edition-ish. fourth, fifth. I remember when I put a singular Carnifex on the table,
Everyone shit themselves.
people was like, "Oh no,
Yeah.
how do I deal with this?" Right? And now you can run 2, 4, 6, old one eye. You can run 10 Carnifexes, right? And your opponent could not care less.
Yep.
Right? Because they're not imposing. The only good unit is old one eye and his 2 Carnifex friends, but they still die. Yeah, a new Carnifex kit would be nice.
Is this not an issue with the edition in general, though?
Big things aren't scary.
Warhammer in general has scaled up and up and up and up over the years, and I'm convinced that part of the reason why it's scaled up is because you can sell you bigger kits.
Yeah.
And when they sell you bigger kits, they can make more money off you, and that's business. And I'm okay with that. Like, I'm not criticising it. I'm okay with it. But Warhammer has scaled up. 10th edition, I don't think has scaled as well as. So we now have a situation where Space Marines are a horde army and Carnifexes aren't scary, and people can just feel multiple giant things, and everyone else goes, "Cool, okay, fine, whatever." Yeah,
well, we were just right where Games Workshop have just given Knights a bit of it. And Knights are a big bad. They were scary. They're a scary army of big, angry robots, right? And it was too much. But they're also an army in addition where someone like a Death Guard player can drop 6 Terminators and a character 6 inches away and charge you with a unit that puts out something like 24 plus the character, so 30 attacks that hit on 2s, and they've got sustained, lance, and lethal at AP3 damage too. And they're like, what knight?
This is my issue, right? When Knights first came out, when they were a new concept in the world of 40k, they were flat terrifying. When your opponent put one of those things on the table, you're like, fuck, what do I do?
Yeah.
With its stupid fucking armour and hull points and D weapons and all that kind of stuff.
Like, 1 was scary.
Yeah. And now we're at a point where a person can put fucking 5 on the table, you're like, cool. Whatever.
Yeah.
And that's a problem, isn't it? Do you not think?
Oh, it's a huge problem. Well, we're now in an edition where a Custodes player can have more models on the table than their opponent.
Yeah.
And that's insane to me.
Let's not even talk about their release this edition.
Yeah, that was a bit embarrassing. That was
the Votan Shield Captain.
Yeah, that model's good, much like Sanguinary Guard, where if you put a lot of time and effort into converting it, it's fine.
Yeah, maybe.
But it's also released as like, well, if Games Workshop had just made the plastic characters that they have, the resin characters that they have in Forge World into plastic, they would have been fine. Yeah, I just think big things. The new edition needs to be big things have to be scarier. I agree. They changed terrain rules to make vertical engagement 5 inches to represent the fact that a Carnifex or a Hive Tyrant or a Catan is literally like swiping their claws on the top floor. Forgetting the fact that what's more efficient is 5 Deathwing Knights stood underneath the solid floor, killing you through the ground. It just made all the other units that are efficient better.
Yeah.
So yeah, just I want Tyrannid release to be new Carnifex, new Shrikes, High Rigel.
You don't want a lot, mate, do you?
Give me big angry things.
You don't want a lot.
Or just make my big angry things in Tyrannids actually be scary. That's all I want.
That's a fucking cool pistol. I like that.
Because the Norn's big, but they really missold how big it was when it came out, and that made me sad.
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was going to be significantly bigger.
Roman Clock says Steel Legion. Oh, there's a conversation around the fact that the new edition could be based around Armageddon, right? And they've just released they've announced the Yarrick books, and obviously the Steel Legion are the Armageddon Steel Legion, you know. But I don't think we will get Steel Legion.
Okay.
because they're too close to Krieg.
I mean, I don't think we need.
They're Krieg in horse riding.
There is an element which is kind of agreeing to some of what you were saying earlier. There is an element of, is there any point? So for me, if they bought out actual plastic Valhallans and plastic Mordians and stuff like that, that's when I would get truly excited. I'm less bothered about an Iron Warriors kit and a Night Lords kit, for example, for me personally. But they have to also think about, well, how many of these kits are we actually going to sell? So things like Krieg, I feel like the Krieg kill team was like almost dipping the toe in the water, but we're probably kidding ourselves if we didn't think that the heavy weapons team and all that other stuff that they made was probably not already in development.
Yeah.
But thankfully, I think it sold quite well. But how many people play Guard compared to how many people play Space Marines? And that's the challenge there, isn't it? With like Steel Legion and with Mordians and with Valhallans.
I reckon we'll get a new regiment and edition. What tends do I have like I say it tends to happen, like it's happened all the time. It's like happened once. Is that my hope is that in the edition where you get the full range refresh of a regiment, you then get a kill team, which is the idea of what's going to be the next one.
Okay.
Right. Angus hinted. So I was going to bring this up actually. Angus is that the grand narrative, which is happening this weekend, is set on Mordia.
Mm-hmm. That's Thursday's topic, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The grand narrative.
Yes, only because they've stated that what happens at the grand narrative will impact the actual narrative.
Yeah. So
that's for Thursday's topic.
Mordian Iron Guard would be banging.
Oh, I'd struggle not to literally jizz everywhere.
I had a massive Mordian Iron Guard army. But with Mordians, right, Taurian Guard is an option because it's just a head swap. Because that's all it was. The metal models just had a head swap. Not even a head swap, a hat swap. And then you're in the desert, you know?
It's like being in the actual army.
Yeah. So it's just like, I think Mordians would be great. I wouldn't be upset if we got Mordians over Catachans. But I do desperately want Catachans because they've released all these special characters, all these commemorative models for Catachans, and then never released the Catachans.
Yeah, it's an odd choice, that, isn't it?
Yeah.
To be fair.
Because we got the Catachan models before they released the Krieg kill team.
So we're coming up with loads of stuff that should and could be out before Space Marines, Charlie.
Yeah.
Despite what Joe tells you.
You know, Games Workshop also likes to make money. And what makes more money than Space Marines?
Selling the people that have already bought the Space Marines other things?
Yeah, but if you've bought Space Marines already, what they do is they just sell you more Space Marines that are bigger than the Space Marines that you already own. It's a great business plan. It's the same business plan that Magic the Gathering has, right? They go, you know these cards that you already own, we're going to reprint them, but we're going to put Spider-Man on it. And then they're like, okay. You know? Or they're like, oh, we'll put Fallout on it, or we'll put Warhammer on it. It's a great business model. You just sell the same things every year to people that already have them.
You don't think there's a risk that some people get fatigued and go, though?
Yeah, but Games Workshop has multiple game systems. They're like, cool, they might just sidestep and give us money for Old World. They might give us money for Age of Sigmar, you know? And then they're like, we'll eventually release something that will make them come back.
I actually don't know if I know many people that have left because 10th and then come back. That's an interesting question, actually. Because I know a lot of people with 10th edition were like, yeah, I'm out, I'm not doing this anymore. And they've gone to play AOS or Old World or whatever.
I know people that left at the start of 10th edition and have come back during 10th edition and can't get enough. They're like, this is incredible.
I don't know anyone like that. I don't know anyone who's left and then come back. In my personal experience.
My friend Tom left because he was like, this edition is stupid and dumb and I hate it. And now he's like, he did a couple of Warhammer World events with us, and he's now like, he's already writing his beachhead list for like what army is going to bring.
Okay.
He's like, just can't get enough. And I know a couple of people like that. And
That's good to hear, at least, that they've been dragged back in.
And I think that's good. I know a couple of people that left ages ago, gone off and played some historical stuff, and then they've messaged me and gone, "I got the new Space Wolf book. I got the new Logan." You know.
I often think to myself, right? I'll be honest. I hold my hands up. I get a lot of times at the moment where I'm like, I want to break from it. I want to stop. I can't because of the job, but I'm not going to complain about that at all. But I get a lot of occasions where, like, I want to break, but I don't think I've ever thought about just quitting. I don't think I've ever been like, I'm done. I can't do this hobby anymore.
The problem is, right, is I've had this identical conversation. Is that we're in too deep.
Like 741.
Yeah, to get out. We're too far in. I made a clean break about in 6th edition. I moved from Exmoor up to King's Lynn, up to Norfolk, and I was like, I don't know anyone there. I'm out. Sold everything, gave loads of stuff away. But when I was in King's Lynn, they opened a Games Workshop, so I kind of naturally went into it.
Of course it did.
And
just curious, right?
So yeah, I was like, what's going on? I've been out of the hobby. What's happening? I'd been out for like 2 years, I think. And then I went in, and I walked out with a box of Drakari Scourges and some Cavalite Warriors. I basically walked out with like 500 points of Drakari and paints and stuff. And I kind of toyed around with it, but I didn't have anyone to play with, so I kind of gave it back up again. But it wasn't until my child was on the way, and I was living in my mate's house. Well, it was before my child was on the way. I lived in my mate's house, and his house was full of Warhammer, and I was always reading all the books and the White Dwarfs. I moved out, and then when I moved out, because my child was on the way, my mate basically went, his entire Necron army, because he had it in combat. He had it in like start collecting boxes and stuff in his spare room. He was like, I'll never get around to them. So before my child was even born, within 9 months, I had like 3,000 points of Necrons, and I was just in then.
Back in,
and since late 2012, just back in then.
I don't think I've ever been in a place where I haven't had something Warhammer related. I don't think I've ever, I had a big break from it when I was younger, and I discovered rugby, beer, and women. But I don't think I've ever been in a situation where I've just had no hobby. I think I've always had something.
Well, when I wasn't playing Warhammer, so like the 2-3 year gap of Warhammer is when I moved to Magic the Gathering.
That's even more dangerous.
That was worse. That was worth, like, financially crippled me.
Yeah. Okay.
Right? Because I got paid, because I worked for Wetherspoons at the time, and I was getting paid weekly, not monthly. So I realised that, like, any money that wasn't on food or rent was just on Magic cards. Because, like, I'd play with my mates, but literally my boss played it as well. So he made sure one night a week, we all had, me and my mates and him all had the same night off. So we could all play Magic at his house. And then I was doing Friday night Magic in Cambridge. And I was doing Magic events. Like on a competitive level. And I was spending fuckloads of money.
I'd like to play more Magic.
Like, I would rather have had a cocaine addiction than play Magic the Gathering.
I can believe that.
Because I think I would have saved money. And I would have been, well, I was thin at the time anyway, but I would have been thinner.
Yeah, of course. That's not life advice, by the way.
That's not life advice. Don't take that advice.
Right, I'm going to jump into chat because there's been a fair few bits coming through. There's been a fair few super chats coming through. We're lacking in the members department right now, Jay. Currently, we don't have massive throbbing members.
Oh.
We have small throbbing members.
That's sad.
Like gently pulsing. Like just
You don't want it to do that, really, if anything.
No. So if you want to support the show, if you love what we do here, if you want to keep Joe and I fed so we can go to the shop after this and get some lunch, if you want to keep the lights on, if you want to keep us making content for you all the time, then the best way to support us is by becoming a member or gifting memberships to the channel. So if you are a grey name, you can become a member all by yourself, !member in the chat, or check out the little $ in the chat box. You can pick a tier. There's lots of different tiers, from Skull tier, which gives you Discord access and merchandise discounts. You've got Jarl tier for monthly giveaways. Haskell tiers now vote on what happens on Monday nights. Thanes gets you WhatsApp chats, and Aces gets you a reach around from Joe.
That's not a fact, but
It is a fact.
do you know what my favourite part of this model is?
His penis.
He doesn't have one. Oh, he probably does, but you can't see
He
it.
just screws it on when he's ready.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go on then.
He's got these little dainty fingers, like servo arm, that's holding his keys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's a piece that I almost always break when snipping it off. So yeah, if you are already a member and you want to support the channel, then obviously feel free to gift memberships, ! Gift in the chat. If you click that link and then gift 5 or 10 or 20 or 50 or everyone in the chat, if all 285 of you gift 50, YouTube will probably break. We won't give them all out.
It is enjoying that at the moment.
Yeah, and they're not being particularly helpful either with solving my problem.
Yeah.
Gamer Aviation, thank you for the 1 gifted membership. You're a legend before the stream started. And
Thank you.
before the stream started, Sprugly gifted £2 and 5 gifted memberships. The £2 says, Liam and Joe Show, let's fucking go. Thank you very much, you're a legend. And like I said, Joe, 5 gifted memberships as well.
Thank you, Sprugly. I hope that you are lucky enough to get a new set of the Terminator. This Terminator box set. Hope you get it. And you're happy about it. That's important.
Thank you, Lollipan, for the $5. While I like the Assault Terminators, I wish the box had a second release like the new Land Raider, Vanguard Vets, or a new shooting unit. I'm more offended by the FOMO box. What do you mean you're offended by the FOMO box, Dan? I don't get it.
Oh, because obviously this box set will be a limited release. It'll come out and then you have to rush to get it, otherwise you have to wait months before the
If you could have had Assault Terminators or Vanguard Vets as a kit, forget the big box, just as a kit, which one would you rather have?
Assault. I love Terminators.
I'd have rather had the Vanguard Vets.
Really?
Yeah.
I want the Terminators because obviously I feel like this box set could have been sold around this. They should have released it at the same time they released Lysander.
Yeah, that would have made sense.
If they released it on the same day, because obviously, like, here's Lysander, here's a fucking army to go with him.
Yeah.
Literally, like, that's him. Because Lysander's detachment is about Terminators, and the enhancement is an ancient. I felt the timing was really off on that. I feel like they should have come out together.
We talk about this a lot, though, don't we? We talk about their timing just being shit.
It's also, I think, like, Games Workshop's, like,
Shit.
we know that stuff gets moved around a lot.
We do know.
Right? So part of me is like, was they planning to? And this was just a bit of a cock-up. Because when you release the Raven Guard stuff, they could have released Vanguard Vets at the same time.
Dan says, I just don't like the ancient facts. Is it not 3 Terminator squads in the box?
There's 3 Terminator squads. There's 3 Terminator squads. They're selling it as a Thunderhammer Storm Shield unit, a Lightning Claw unit, generic Space Marines, Ancient, Captain, Chaplain. 3 characters, 3 units. But I reckon that the box sets of Assault Terminators will come with 5 Thunderhammers and Storm Shields and 5 sets of Lightning Claws. So that additional squad of Terminators
Could be one or the other.
can be one or the other.
Yeah.
So what you can do is, like, you could pick up, I reckon, because what's going to happen, right, is people will pick up that box set and then they'll pick up another box of Terminators and then they'll go 10 with Lightning Claws, 10 with Thunderhammer Storm Shields.
Yeah.
I wrote a Blood Angels list that had 10 Lightning Claw Terminators in it.
I mean, I think squads of 10 Terminators is fucking ridiculous anyway.
It is ridiculous, but so you get 10 Terminators, Lightning Claws in Liberated Assault Group, right? And then you put the Terminator Librarian in the unit. So on the charge, they get 60 Strength 7 attacks, AP 2, 1 damage. The Librarian gives them sustained hits, and then for 1 CP, you give them Lance and Lethal. And then you obviously put them versus the oath target, and they re-roll all hits and wounds. I was like, what doesn't that unit kill?
I can't. I really hope the next edition is less fucking rerolls, I'll be honest. Ash, thank you for
We
the
were
$2.
promised less at the start of the edition.
We were promised. That never came to fruition, Joe, did it?
Look at the Templars book.
Yeah. Yeah. Ash, thank you for the $2. Any point investing in Assault Terminators as a Dark Angels fan? Pass? Just take Deathwing Knights.
Deathwing Knights are really good. What you could do is run 3 units of Deathwing Knights and 3 units of Assault Terminators with Thunderhammer Storm Shield. Because then you've got 30 Terminators all with 4 wounds at -1 to wound in Wrath of the Rock. The only difference is the Thunderhammer Storm Shield ones aren't -1 damage.
Yeah.
But they are less points.
There's still 4 wounds as well, though.
They're still 4 wounds. They're still AP2 damage due with Dev wounds. You put an Ancient in there, you give them like +1 to attack. It's I think it's an army that you're going to have fun with. That's important to remember.
Yeah.
You're having fun with that army.
Yeah.
But it has no guns, so you might run into some problems. But I think, like I do all the time, I run armies that don't have guns, and I just accept the fact that I won't kill anything as shooting.
Yeah. There's a bunch of grey names in chat as well, team, that I've not seen before. So
Yeah.
if the regulars wanted to be that way inclined, you could try and gift them some greenness. Get them in the Discord server, indoctrinate them into the Great Hall, never let them leave, tell them it's not a cult, all that kind of stuff. Nick, thank you for the $5. He says, Captain Centos, Combat Patrol, exclusive captain and Warhammer Day model that equals the whole non-Emperor's Children Chaos God Legion releases, and they all just look the same. That's basically
The same doesn't mean ugly, though. The same could mean beautiful, which it is in my eyes.
But his point's right there. They've had more releases, not including the fact that it was the launch box, than all of the non-Emperor's Children Chaos God models combined.
But the Emperor's Children release, I've come to terms with it, right? After many therapy hours. And when I say therapy, I mean crying in my shower.
You don't shower.
I do. I had one this morning, actually. That's where I do my best crying. That's where I do my best work, in the shower. Like, the Emperor's Children, I would hazard a guess at the rest of that army is already designed and probably printed in boxes.
I don't know about the latter part, but I think they're probably already designed.
All ready to go into boxes. Because if they release the entire Emperor's Children range in one go, then they've got nothing to sell in 11th edition. Right? So it's clearly half a range that's going to get the rest of the range in the new edition. I would imagine World Eaters will probably get a much needed update in the new edition as well. The only downside to the wasn't with the Games Workshop release as a whole. It was the rules writing, I think, is what let down Emperor's Children. Because if the rules writing team had allowed Emperor's Children players to take cultists, take predators,
there's just a weird load of restrictions.
The fact that they got the Hellbrute, they got the Mauler Fiend, but not the Forge Fiend or the Hellbrute. Like, I just feel like if the rules writing team had said you can take these things that we already sell, I feel like Emperor's Children. So I don't think it was the development part of it or the design team. I think it's just the rules that screwed the Emperor's Children over, because we wouldn't be complaining now about Emperor's Children, and people wouldn't have complained when the Emperor's Children came out if they could use and buy things that Games Workshop already sold.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's my
Yeah,
argument
it doesn't.
for the Emperor's
It's
Children.
there's just. I think I always find that, in my opinion, for the most part, they just kind of get the Legion specific factions quite wrong. Like, with the exception maybe of Death Guard.
Yeah.
Death Guard seemed to have done all right out of having its own standalone codex and having its own model
But
range.
Death Guard did. It tends to, obviously, like the history stands that if you are in the starter box set, you tend to get treated a bit better.
But Death Guard also got So they got the Plague Marine unit, cool, but then they didn't make up a random elite unit for them. They just made Blight Lord Terminators and Death Shroud Terminators, which is correct. Whereas with Emperor's Children and with World Eaters, and to some extent even with Thousand Sons, they went, here's a random elite unit that we're going to make.
Yeah.
At least Thousand Sons got their own specific Terminators. World Eaters have Red Butchers narratively. Is Emperor's Children Terminators the Palatine Blades? Are they Terminators?
Phoenix Spears.
Phoenix Spears, sorry, that's the ones, yeah. Right.
But narratively, I think all the Phoenix Spears got killed. I think Fulgrim killed them all in the narrative because they were all loyalists. I think he murdered them all. But the Incurse, what are they called? The Infractors are very much the historical successor to the Palatine Blades, just bolt pistol sword guides, which is fine. But I do think they could have, like, the suits of Terminator armor still existed, right?
Yeah.
Whether Fulgrim killed them or not, someone could have picked up the armor and put it on. They could have been like, okay, that's mine now. I'll steal it, and it's all good for me. I don't mind them so much releasing new units that have obviously like a narrative progression in 10,000 years, right? Because Death Guard makes sense and Thousand Sons make sense because they were all corrupted and basically lived in their armor for the rest of the time. Whereas Emperor's Children need to take off their armor to diddle people, right? To do the things that they want to do.
I just think that Red Butchers is an easy win.
And Red Butchers is so easy.
Even things like their own type of Havoc Squad is an easy win for World Eaters. But no, they went 8-bound and Exalted 8-bound, which I don't hate them as much as you hate them, but I don't like them as a model range.
I think...
And I built some, and it didn't make it better.
I think the design ethos for them was we want all four to come out and be different. Very, very aesthetically different and play very, very different. The downside is the Thousand Sons, Death Guard, and now kind of World Eaters all play the same, just big tanks and a smattering of stuff, whereas Emperor's Children plays very different. But I think their intention was everyone plays different with their own thing, and then over time, they will then release the things that kind of bring them more into that Legion scale of stuff. Because it's like, I did find it weird that Death Guard and Thousand Sons both got their own Terminators, and then Emperor's Children and World Eaters just kind of stuck with generic ones.
Yeah.
It's very odd. Very strange.
Yeah, well, not only just generic ones, but also restricted to 5-man units as well.
Emperor's Children.
Yeah.
World Eaters can take 10.
Exactly. So why Emperor's Children stuck to 5? Their Terminators are objectively worse, and
they're miles worse.
And they're stuck to 5.
Yeah.
Right? And then World Eaters get Jackals, and Death Guard get Poxwalkers, and Thousands get Zangor, and Emperor's Children, which Emperor's Children cultists are probably the ones I hear about the most in the narrative.
Yeah.
And they get nothing. Not even generic cultists. Nothing.
But I don't think they last very long, like on the ship.
They don't last very long on the table, cultists, Jay.
No, that's true. Oh yeah, I'll give you that. He's missing. Has he got like a teeny weeny little
penis
finger? He's got a teeny weeny little finger. I've got to glue it. Whose fucking idea was that?
Yeah, anyway,
it's gone.
Dan, thank you for the $5. The point is to never be done, though. Constant updates and constant changes and constant revisions means pounds for the plastic printing crack dealers. I mean, obviously, yeah, but I think there is. I think there's a balance to be struck for servicing your whole audience rather than just Space Marine players constantly. And I know Space Marine players who love Space Marines who are going, "Fuck me, more." I've barely got the stuff I've bought, built, painted, and ready to go, and then you give me more and more and more. You will, at some point, I think you can fatigue an audience. You can fatigue a player base. He's the wrong person to judge that for, personally, but he obviously does it for a job as well. But for some people, they're just like, I'm not buying a £150 fucking box again just to get some Assault Terminators.
I mean, you don't have to buy it. You can. I'm not like a Games Workshop apologist, but like, you don't have to buy the box set. You can just wait for them to come out on...
You don't know, but FOMO kicks in. The world of FOMO kicks, and they're preying on it on purpose. They do that. There's only one reason why for a lot of releases, they get tied to big, expensive boxes, especially when those and this is not one of those occasions, but for the most part, especially when those boxes majoritively contain, look at fucking White Scars, man.
Oh yeah, the Combat Patrol one.
The amount of times they do that, Chaos Lords, this edition, Sisters of Battles, Canonesses.
Yeah, it was weird that, like, it was weird when they said that the Combat Patrol was where you got Bike Man. Like, it's the first time they've released a new model exclusively in a Combat Patrol. But is that because they think that no one owns a White Scars army?
I don't know. This is what I'm saying. I don't understand the decision making. It often just doesn't make any sense.
Someone somewhere has done an analysis and gone, this is how we should do it.
Yeah.
Like Games Workshop, a lot of people think that Games Workshop is stupid, and some of the things they do come across as really fucking stupid. But someone sat making a decision based on some data somewhere, right? Like, how do they get that data? Like, how do they come up with those decisions? I'd love to know. I'd love to meet these people. And for them to go, we've done this. Because you've got to think, right, when you release a bunch of codexes for stuff, you want to keep your money regular, don't you, as a business? Right? And you're going to have peaks and troughs. So maybe the Space Marine releases are basically there to pick up what they know is going to be a quiet period.
Yeah.
So this big Space Marine release is the up before the lull before Christmas that they know they're going to go back up again. You know, maybe that is my guess. I don't know.
I would love them to actually give us information. I would love them to actually go out to their influencers who are going to be talking about releases and talking about new products into the world of their kind of respective audiences, and have a legitimate idea as to why decisions have been made, so that we can potentially, if the decision has been made based on data, on information, we can potentially go, yeah, there's a reason. But
we get quite often told, don't repeat this.
We get kept well in the dark, and then when we do get given information, I don't even know if I'm allowed to say this. When we do get given information, you get told you can't quote us or repeat anything we've said.
Yeah.
Why give it to me then? What's the fucking point? Oh my God. So we were struggling, Joe, stuck on 13 members.
Yeah.
Big John's just come in with 20 gifted.
Daddy John?
Big Daddy John's come in with 20 gifted memberships.
Is he coming to see us?
I don't know. When?
John, are you coming to see us? John's over for LVO.
LGT.
LGT, same thing. Different country.
Very different scale.
Are you coming to see us, John?
Well, he's very welcome to whenever he's over.
John, I hope you come and see us. That's my hope for you.
I think it's more of a hope for you, that, isn't it?
I love seeing John.
Well, we're now on 33, chat. It's not a complete disaster, but
John's like my favourite human being. What?
Fine. It's okay. You now want to hope they send us the box for free. Sheep 16, thank you for the $5. We've had more named Space Marines than we've had new Emperor's Children kits this year, excluding Divergent chapters.
Don't care, love them all.
I don't think you're winning this fight, Joe.
The problem is, right, I've been worn down by this over time from just experience, not like personal experience, but seeing it happen. Every release that Games Workshop does, right, whether it's 1,000 Suns, an Emperor's Children, a Space Marine, a kill team, right? Someone in the comment section of Games Workshop's Facebook post, Instagram post, YouTube post, whatever, is like, but what about this? But what about insert name here, you know? What about,
yeah, right,
Catachan brain-eating bugs, you know?
Well, the thing is, right, often those posts also are motivated by the individual's personal preference.
Yeah.
Okay. So I think for the most part, you can disregard it because people go, what about the thing that I want?
Yeah.
And all I care about is the thing that I want, and all you should care about is the thing that I want. I'm not a Drakari player, nor am I a Grey Knight player. And I am saying, well, what about Drakari and Grey Knights? What about Demons and Deathwatch? Like this is my point, right? You've talked about you yourself have repeatedly talked about the addition being the addition of loss.
Yeah.
Apart from Space Marines, they're just gaining.
Yeah. But Space Marines
you
also lost.
You can't claim the addition of loss and everyone should expect to lose certain things and data sheets should get removed, which I think should happen and it should get tied up a bit, and then go, Space Marines just get more new stuff, just more new stuff.
But I think we also have to apply a certain level of common sense, which is hard, I know, on the internet. It's very hard, and it's an ugly word that people on the internet don't like to hear because a lot of the time, if you bring in common sense, people don't have an argument. And it's the idea that, like I have said, this is the addition of loss. We're only losing, not gaining, kind of thing. And I think people have to realise, okay, everyone's lost a lot this edition. Hopefully, that means that we'll get more next edition.
Dave says, I would like to see Games Workshop genuinely open up to live interviews and stuff like that with content creators, events, etc. I would, like, Joe talked about Magic earlier, right? And how Magic is arguably the more expensive, more addictive hobby. But at least the people that run Magic, do interviews with creators in the community.
They're well good.
They're really, 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 really good at engaging in the community and doing interviews with even some of the smaller channels. Games Workshop's insular nature, for me, is they're better than they were 20, 30 years ago, and I want to give them kudos for that and credit for that, because they are better than they were 20, 30 years ago, because there was a time before where they would stick a release out and you just wouldn't fucking hear from them at all. So they are better than they were a number of years ago, but I still think their insulation is one of their toxic traits, and I think they should do better at being open and honest with the community. I think one of the ways they do that is people being less keen on just being a flat fucking witch hunt all the time. But it definitely is a thing that can be improved massively. So, you know, I don't know. That's my opinion, and I think communication, right, is always communication with your fan base and your audience is always better. It's always better. Unless you know that what you're going to say when talking truthfully will piss them off. And then arguably no communication is better. So to some extent, you can almost surmise that they know that some of what they're doing is disingenuous, dishonest, and will piss us off. It's just better to say nothing. There is also the flip side of the coin where no matter what they say, it could be twisted. And if they twist it the wrong way, or it gets twisted the wrong way, and it gets misquoted, then, you know, that in itself has a negative impact, right? Just need 10 billion gifted subs and buy majority shares on Games Workshop. I'd love to. I have 10 shares, which I keep getting very close to selling because money is hard right now, but, you know. Yeah, please do put your willy away. That would be great. I'm going to jump to John's super chat because sometimes he doesn't hang around for very long, and it's also relevant to what you said to him, right? Okay. He's also started a membership train all by himself that he's trying to encourage in the chat. You know, when John's in the chat asking for gifted memberships, it's desperate, right? So let's go, chat. He did super chat a big red one, Joe. He did throw us a big $100 and said, Joe, my goodness, I am at LVO next week, not LGT, which is this week. LVO is in Las Vegas, Nevada, which is in America. In November, I will be at Worlds in Atlanta with you. I am planning on coming to the UK before the end of year and hopefully for a grand opening. Love you.
Love you too.
I thought LVO was always January, February. I thought LVO was always the last big event in the ITC calendar.
I think they've moved it.
I had no idea they'd moved it. I could have gone.
I think they've moved it back because Games Workshop made sure that the Golden Ticket event is the last tournament of the calendar.
So is LVO always going to be in September now?
I guess so, yeah.
So I get they moved it now. I was like, it can't be LVO next month because it's always January. Is it now permanently in September?
I guess so.
Because I have been desperate. I'm fucking angry now because it shows I just haven't paid any attention to any LVO news because it was always in January and it's when Lucy's birthday, my father-in-law's birthday, and my eldest son's birthday are always in January. Like I'm just never going to get to go.
Well, why don't we go next year? Maybe we made that as a plan.
It's a permanent change, so I can do LVO next year.
Yeah.
What? We're doing LVO next year, Jay.
Yeah?
Yeah. Facts.
We're sure we could barely afford to send me to to go on the ticket.
Well, that's a whole different problem I'm going to have to try and solve.
Yeah.
But I wanted to do LVO forever and was never able to do it. Oh my fucking God.
I'd love to go to Vegas before, like, it implodes and sinks into the desert.
Much evidence of that happening?
I don't know. I watched Resident Evil the other day.
Oh, right,
when
okay.
It's filled with zombies.
So it's based on the film. Cool.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much, Scott, for the $10 multi-part Outrider kit rather than push fit. Yes, I'd love to actually see that, to be fair. I suspect the firstborn will be in Heresy with the range covering the scouring, which is sort of what you said, wasn't it?
Yeah, they'll get an update and they'll get moved to the Scouring.
John's just said he will sponsor Great Hall for LVO. Yeah, you sponsor Great Hall, just me and Joe.
Yeah. Or does he mean, like, he'll sponsor us in the sense that he'll be his team name?
I will pay for a ticket for next week right now.
Oh.
What's the dates for it this year? Isn't LVO sold out anyway? Not that I want to play. Interesting. Daniel Higgins, thank you for the $5. There might be a Liam fundraiser coming. Hi all, if they release Tyrannic War Veterans as a kill team, would you invest? Also, if you could both design a kill team, what would it be?
Yes, I would invest immediately. I'm so desperate for Tyrannic War Veterans to be a kit. Like, I started a Ultramarines army under the impression that there would be a Tyrannic War Veterans kit because of how the narrative was going. I like the idea of having armies that kind of counteract each other, so having Tyrannids and Tyrannic War Veterans, having both. Because we had the Tyrannic War Veterans Lieutenant that was in Leviathan box set. I thought we were going in that direction. I was super hyped for it, and that just never appeared. I got the Tyrannic War Veterans transfer sheet that Games Workshop released. So I just need the plastic kit.
Actually, it's £150 a pop for Games Workshop shares. Yeah, when I bought them, they were 70. So I've done all right out of them so far. But hey, I know this because I have 0.038 of one. My return's over 100%, thankfully, because I bought them a while ago. What would I design as a kill team, though? That's an interesting question, and I don't actually strictly, at this point, know the answer.
I've got two answers. I say it all the time.
Go on.
So the first one would, without a doubt, be a Tanith first only basic infantry squad. So Gaunt's Ghosts. We've got the command squad because we've got Rawn and we've got Gorn and Corbeck and stuff. Now I just want a generic infantry squad of Tanith, some with cloaks on, some without them, and then squad weapons. You have a flamer, you have a sniper, you have a stubber guy in there. That's just Games Workshop's license to print money. And then the second one is a Catachan kill team. Okay. Obviously he's already said Tyrannic War Veterans, otherwise it would be that one. But a Catachan one would be so good.
If it was me, I want to see something that is. I want to see it. This will make Ash happy. I want to see a kill team that's a fucking kill team. I don't want to see a kill team that is some Catachans or some fucking Night Lords or some Kriegers.
The Deathwatch one's a kill team.
The Deathwatch one's better.
I think Deathwatch is the first kill team they've released for the game kill team that's representative of what in our heads a kill team is. There's a guy in Gravis armor, there's a guy in Phobos armor, you've got a guy with a sword and a shield, you've got I think That's like the most representative one. The Kassakin one's kind of good.
So if I could design one, I'd do like a Chaos Warband for a kill team, but I don't want to see 5-10 Night Lords or 5-10 Iron Warriors. Like I'd love to see like a World Eater with a heavy bolter for the meme, and then like an Emperor's Children Bladesman, and then maybe an Iron Warrior Terminator, and then, do you know what I mean? Like a Night Lord's guy with a jump pack. That's what I would like to see as a kill team. I'd like to see a kill team be an actual fucking kill team.
There's a group of people in the Beckwin novel. They're like a secret underground group of Space Marines that are led by a Thousand Sun sorcerer, but there's like an Iron Hand in it, an Imperial Fist, a Iron Warrior, a Night Lord, a Raven Guard guy, a Salamander. There's just like one of every legion just in there, working together. Like something like that would just be really cool.
Yeah. I that's what I want from kill teams. That's what I feel like kill team has gone too down the route of generic squad rather than actual cool operatives that have randomly found themselves working together as a kill team, in my opinion. But I also know that, I don't know this. I also suspect that one of the reasons why it currently exists as it does is because we sell more.
It's making so much money.
We sell more because 40k players can buy it. Yeah. Just Jupiter, thank you for the 1 gifted membership. You're a legend. YE55, thank you for the 5 gifted memberships.
Thank you, YE55. I hope that you get a wonderful homemade lasagna for dinner tonight.
Banging. I then asked the question, super chat things that should have come out before more generic Space Marines. Ash for the $2 said Fire Slayer Joe. Correct, we haven't had that yet. Predators for the $5 says Joe doing a proper Fire Slayer cosplay. # robbed, # refund. Correct. Yeston Jones is actually flat boycotting all streams with you in it until we get proper Fire Slayer Joe.
Oh, yeah?
Yep.
Oh, that's a shame.
Romo Clock, thank you for the $2, says every single other faction fully fleshed out first. Agree. And I think that's it for the questions that I asked. Makari's Wanksock, thank you for the $5. He says, surely the new Terminators could have waited and put in the 11th edition starter set. Other armies are more in need of new stuff. Correct.
Well, the thing is though,
correct.
There were already Terminators in the starter box that's just gone. So I don't think they do Terminators twice.
But it's not Terminators twice, it's Assault Terminators.
Yeah, but it's still Terminators, isn't it? This edition was the Terminator edition as well, right?
Well, not for Emperor's Children or World Eaters.
No, for Space Marines. The Space Marine Terminator edition. So I think they wanted to get all the Terminator-based units out first. God damn it.
He also gifts 1 membership. Thank you so much, mate. You're a legend. Buan, thank you for the $10. For my non-Space Marine armies, I'd like a Votan Invicta / baby carrier, a non-transport heavy tank. Custodians, he wants Venatari plastic, and a new chaff unit for knights so we don't need to ally in sisters all the time. I'd like a chaff unit for knights, actually, more than anything. On that list.
I've already broken someone.
Although Venatari plastic is 100% a reasonable shout as well. I think Votan's in the right place now, though.
Yeah, I
think it will still get more releases, but I think currently it's in the right place.
As someone who played against Votan literally 2 days ago, I think they're fine for tanks, but the land fortress is incredible. The damage output that thing can put out is insane. So I was having a discussion with Simon, who I played, is that if a lot of Votan people are really down on the dropping of output from Votan, like in terms of resilience and wounds and toughness and stuff. And I think it's because in the index in their previous release, the range was really condensed. There wasn't a huge amount of releases. So everything had to be tough and high damage output. The more units you put in, the broader the range comes. So you kind of have to dilute the stuff that's already been there to kind of spread out the love. So if they do release a new anti-tank tank, for instance, right, there's the chance that the Hecaton doesn't become as good. Because at the moment,
Yeah.
the Hecaton's doing all the heavy lifting. So its output is a bit crazy. And then obviously the Sagittar, its rules have basically been spread over that and the Capricus now. Because they want them to be two very different kinds of things. So the chances are that if you do get a heavier tank, the Land Fortress becomes less good, I think. Which is,
Okay.
yeah.
Interesting. Carl Moore also says it's a yellow one. Thank you for the $10. Things that are needed before Space Marine: Scorpion Phoenix Lord, so Karandras, Necron Destroyer Lord, Catachan, Steel Legion Upgrade Kit, Red Butchers, and remove Legacy Gravis Armor and the Buggy. He wants to remove Gravis Armor. So I hate the Buggy.
Like Gravis.
So I do hate the Buggy. The old, what's it called? ATV.
Yeah.
I fucking hate that model. I actually do quite like Gravis Armor, though.
I like Gravis armor.
I'm actually a big Gravis Armor fan. For a while, I actually contemplated putting together an Iron Hands army of all Gravis stuff just to piss Joe off, because he fucking hates Iron Hands.
It wouldn't have pissed me off. It just wouldn't have, I wouldn't have meant to paint it. I'd be more annoyed if you said, I want us to have an Iron Hands army.
Yeah.
And it's like, and it supersedes everything else.
Well, I put it together. You'd have to paint it.
Well, surely you could paint it. It's only black.
No, I'm a fan of. I'm actually a big fan of Gravis. I like Gravis.
I like Gravis a lot.
I like aggressors. I love heavy intercessors.
Heavy intercessors are the best of that range, in my opinion.
Yeah, I love the heavy intercessor kit. I like the eradicators.
Whereas I actually think aggressors are the weakest models in the range of the Gravis because they were the first. They're just a bit monoposed. A lot of them, they're about to fall over as well. I feel like they need a bit of a. They need a bit of a refresh into make them look a bit more nicer. But they don't need a refresh. But I think that they, out of the Gravis stuff, they're probably the one that needs it the most.
I don't hate aggressors. I like them quite a lot, but they are a bit monoposed, which makes me sad.
They are very shit in the game as well.
Yeah, they are.
They're not good.
Which makes me double
I
sad.
keep trying to make old Cockknocker, what's his name, Torgadron work. And I've been putting him in units of aggressors, and the aggressors just do nothing. They die so toughness 6 with a 3-up save and 3 wounds in this edition is
no invuln.
And no invuln.
Yeah.
It's almost as shit as just being a generic intercessor.
Yeah.
The benefit to being a generic intercessor is that you're cheap,
Yeah.
right? And there's many of them.
He's just got better rules normally as well.
Yeah.
Maybe not so much damage output, but just better rules.
Yeah, just
Generic intercessors get sticky objectives.
Torgadron is moving over to heavy intercessors because heavy bolters.
Dan Higgins, thank you for the $2. Says new troops for each force, Tyrannid for guard. Yeah. New troops for each force is relatively reasonable. Like, this is what I'm saying with the Drakari. They get 2 characters. They could have done with new Cabalites and new Witches quite comfortably. They didn't get them.
I reckon they'll come. They'll come.
Maybe. Lehman Ross, thank you for the $5. This might sound negative, but I'm generally just sick of Space Marine releases. Give love to other armies. I mean, that's what we're arguing here, mate. Well, that's what I'm arguing. I think
I'm not saying stop releasing stuff for other armies. I want other armies to have stuff. I play other armies, right? I just really like power armor. But like, I want stuff for my Tyrannids. I want stuff for my Guard. Votan have just had a bunch of stuff, which are really cool. I'm a big fan of the new Votan release. Obviously, I've been talking about the fact that I really want to do a new Drakari army, and this new release, it's good and bad for me, right? And it's only good and bad for me because of the unique situation I'm in, right? Because it's my job. Is that I want to really do a Drakari army, and I was hoping that this edition would be the edition they get a full range refresh, because I'd be like, great, I could just start afresh and I'm not wasting my time. Whereas now I'm like, they've got 2 new characters, so realistically, if I was going to do a Drakari army, the only models I can actually get away with painting are Incubi, Drazar, Lilith, the new Archon, and Lady Malice, because anything else is a potential waste of time because it will probably get replaced this edition.
I can start building them instead.
And I'm like, I don't want to. I mean, if you want to do Drakari, do Drakari, because I don't want to touch them until they get a range refresh. Because at the moment, any time I spend on Drakari now is essentially a waste of time.
Yeah, fair. Potentially. But that's the other thing is...
Because we don't know.
I was utterly convinced that we'd see new Grey Knights this year. So I waited off because I was like, anything will be a waste, and we didn't get a refresh. So now I'm like, surely next edition, but when's that going to be?
But if I was painting a full Drakari army, right, I'm not painting my golden ticket army, which I need to get done. You know, I've got terrain to do. I want to get the fists finished. You know, I want to do a White Scars army. I'd like to get into a position where in 11th edition, I'm not painting full armies anymore. I'm just adding to the armies that we already have. That for me is the dream, where we have everything that we need, and every release that comes out, I could just be creating content based around that new model release.
He then chucks us another $5. He said, very recently, I've just quit 40k and I'm solely playing the Horus Heresy. I find the community much more welcoming and much more friendly. That's good, mate. I'm glad.
That's good.
Vibes and tribes and all that. I'm glad you're enjoying Heresy.
Yeah.
I want to play some more Heresy soon. I really like that game.
I need to get the Night Lords finished, and then we can do all the Heresy.
I really like that game, to be fair. Thank you, Stefano, for the $2. I support Joe's message. It is healthier than Magic the Gathering. I think that was about your proposed narcotics purchase.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Isaac, thank you for the $10. For Wild Eaters alone, he would like a Lord on Foot, an Apothecary, Terminated. Well, the Apothecary would be a butcher surgeon, right?
A Lord on... The fact that they didn't get a Lord on Foot,
Joe, please don't. Joe, please don't.
Right.
Please don't.
Tom is like the little brother I never had. Right? And nothing brings me greater joy than pissing him off. Right? And it's all... We play Space Marine 2 all the time. We play games, we talk to each other all the time. But nothing brings me greater joy than watching him be really sad. When that World Eaters release came out. And I told him with a straight face, like, I said, guaranteed they're getting one new model in a book. They're getting nothing else.
We could...
Right, and that's all they got. And he was so crestfallen. But I felt bad for him at the same time because, like, they need a Lord on. Like, an actual Khorne Lord. Not the weird, like, exalted... plus man, you know, exalted squared. Like
we could just speak to Tom, go home now, and just play Space Marine 2 tonight, all night.
Yeah,
streamed.
Yeah,
just instead.
Yeah, I could do that
because I downloaded it now. I re-downloaded it.
I mean, I don't have a problem. I love that game so much.
I know you do. Yeah. So he said he wanted a World Eaters, Lord on Foot. A Butcher Surgeon Stroke Apothecary, Terminators, Berserkers with jump packs, Leader, a Lord in Terminator armor, Juggernaut Cavalry, some sort of Demon Engine, and generally 3 to 4 more characters. I feel like it's not actually all that much to ask for, really. I'm going to be honest with you, my current chaos-based passion is Emperor's Children right now. Because despite the fact they have the same or less number of units, I think they're more interesting. Because you've got Tormentors who can infiltrate and have guns, and you've got Infractors who are troops with sticky objectives but swords. You've got Flawless Blades, which are melee focused, and Noise Marines, which are gun focused. You've got a cool Lord character, plus another buffing character in the Cacophonist. You've got Lucius, who's interesting. Like, I feel like they're quite interesting in how they play. They might not be as good as World Eaters, and I categorically don't think they're as good, but I think they're more interesting. And World Eaters, for me at the moment, and this was actually reaffirmed on Tuesday, loved having the game against Tom, thoroughly enjoyed the game. But I looked at the way they play and I thought to myself, I'd be bored now. Run across table, fight with melee. Done.
Yeah, that's the thing is though, that is the embodiment of what World Eaters are though, isn't it really? Just run across table, hit stuff with stick. I think Emperor's Children are how I'd like to see generic Space Marines play, because Chaos Space Marines now are so horrifically boring. And I want them to be great and I want them to be fun, but they've got no identity.
Yeah.
Right? And when you look at the Space Marine Codex, it's a generic Space Marine Codex, but it has the inbuilt benefit of having now multiple characters for each chapter, right? And it has a very specific playstyle that they kind of want you to do.
Yeah.
Like now with the 2 Raven Guard players, the lone op, it's all about sneaking and doing stuff. The Fists are like the now elite army in there. Salamanders are very specifically the flamer people. That stuff is very much ingrained in that book and how Games Workshop wants it to play. Chaos Space Marines have Fabius Bile, but he now has a detachment, but it just goes, you're all infantry. We don't care what you put in it, but it's just infantry. Abaddon has a detachment, which is awful. And then the rest of the stuff, they're like, you're just Space Marines, and they never locked the characters for each of like the separate legions into specific play styles. It's just like the Chaos Space Marine book is like, just put your models on the table. It doesn't matter what detachment you take because they're all a bit shit.
Yeah.
I want to be able to go, here's the Night Lords guy. I think releasing Harken Worldclaimer as a Black Legion character was a massive mistake.
Yeah, I agree.
He should have been the Night Lord's character.
Yeah, Tyrannid says, they gave World Eaters some shooting. I don't know what else you could want. Well, exactly what I just read out.
World Eaters have got insane shooting.
But what I would want is exactly what I just read out. A Lord on foot, a Butcher Surgeon, some decent Red Butcher Terminators, Berserkers with jump packs, a leader that's in Terminator armour, Juggernaut cavalry that can be led by the Lord on Juggernaut who currently can't lead anything.
Yeah.
I'm not even bothered by the Demon Engine and the 3 to 4 more characters. Just give me that alone. Just give me, at the moment I have, infantry that can run across the floor, or tanks and Demon Engines that shoot obnoxiously. That's all I've got. I haven't really.
They're very one-dimensional.
I've got nothing infiltrate. I've got nothing that infiltrates that's interesting. I've got nothing that's jump back and fast. And it's all fucking 8-bound. It's just dull. I don't like it.
So what you're experiencing is my feelings on the Chaos Space Marine Codex. I want to run the cool stuff, but they're not giving me the cool stuff to run.
So I look at the Chaos Space Marine range quite often, like the things like Possessed and Chosen, and I get quite excited about Chaos Space Marines as a generic chapter.
Yeah.
And then I do what I always do, and I go into the codex and look at the rules, and then I go, nah.
Oh, this is why I don't do them.
Nah, doesn't look interesting. Live Powder, thank you for the $5. It is crazy that there isn't an Amaro equivalent for Warhammer. Mark Rosewater, for Liam's sake, public face of Magic the Gathering design. It's mad, and I think it's a mistake. I legitimately think it was a mistake. I was thinking gameplay-wise, I agree. Yeah, so gameplay-wise, we have a shooting phase. World Eaters, I say we. I haven't played World Eaters this whole edition. In fact, I went to look on the app the other day, and I realised I hadn't put the code in, because I just don't use them. Because there's 2 reasons. The first reason is that Tom is such a passionate World Eaters fan. I was like, well, cool, you can just play World Eaters. And secondly, I'm just not massively inspired currently by their codex.
There's a difference between... Like, I had this discussion with someone that asked a question the other day, right? Then they were like, what army should I get? And I'm like, which army do you think is the most fun to play with? Because there's a very clear difference between being good and being enjoyable, right? And enjoyment is subjective, right? We will find enjoyment in different ways, right?
Yeah.
You know, look at the Chaos Legions, right? And it's like, if you derive enjoyment from winning, then Emperor's Children are good. You know, World Eaters are good. Chaos Space Marines are good. Because they all have ways of winning. So we said, the cultist way of playing Chaos Space Marines is the way to go. And you are correct. But in my feeling, that's not fun to play. My favourite part about Chaos Space Marines is Abaddon, Justarin, cool characters, Chosen, and stuff like that.
You mean actual Chaos
The
Space
actual
Marines.
elite Chaos Space Marine part of the book. That's what I want to run and have fun with. And they're just not good units. It's just the cultist tank book now. Yeah. So it is a good book that wins games, but I don't find it fun to play with. And when I see people playing Chaos Space Marines at tournaments, it's like a forced fun. They're like, I really love Chaos Space Marines, but I have to play this way.
Yeah.
And they're having fun because they're doing all right, but they're not enjoying themselves. They're not having the most fun that they could be having with the models that they want to play with. And that's what I get, because I think that's the most important thing to remember, is that we play this game to have fun, and when it's your job, right, people look at our list and they go like, that list is terrible, that list is awful.
We get that a lot, actually.
We get it all the time. This is the worst list I've ever seen, why are you doing it? I'm like, because I want to have fun with the models I put on the table, and I don't want to run the meta. Like, if you want to see people run the best tournaments, go and watch Art of War.
We also live in that weird space, right, where if you run the latest meta list, someone will turn up and go, ugh, it's just the latest meta list, I'm not watching this, it's boring.
Yeah.
And then if you run something different that no one ever takes because it's not very good, someone will turn up and go, ugh, you're running something that's not very good, I'm not watching this because it's, well, I don't, what do you want us to do then? Yeah. So now I just say to the guys, just run what's fun, just take fun shit. So do that. Then we had a gifted from Jeremy, thank you, you legend. And 5 from Limey Panda. We're currently on 76. John got us to 76 basically with his members train, Joe.
Was with his member.
We're 24 away from hitting a lunchtime target. Ooh. But thank you, Dan, Mr. the Limey Panda, for 5 gifted memberships.
Thank you, Limey Panda. I hope that you get a free pub lunch tomorrow at a good pub specifically, because there's some pretty shit pubs out there, right?
Huge Warhammer 40,000 Space Marine 2 giveaway, 132 chances to win. It's the first anniversary of Warhammer 40,000 Space Marine 2. To celebrate, 132 lucky winners will be chosen over 4 weeks to receive an awesome prize, including items from Displate, Joy Toy, Wet Workshop, and more. To enter click the link below and complete the form, and follow Focus Entertainment on Instagram by 11:59 BST on the 29th September.
Oh.
There you go.
I'll do
that. Thank you, Nathan Jam, for the $2. Will there be a VAD stream when Battlefield 6 launches? Yes, but not on the day straight away. Because on the day it launches, I'm at Legoland.
That is lame. That's the lamest thing you've ever said in your life.
Legoland, Joe. Shut up.
That's true. Have you got a driving license for Legoland? Yes, that's the important question.
Have I got what?
You got your Legoland driving license.
No, what's that?
You drive the little go-karts, and when you finish it, they give you a driving license.
Oh, no, I haven't done that. No,
I've not been to Legoland in about probably 20 years, so
it's
that's
fucking great.
Probably gone.
You should come.
I'd love to go to Legoland. I'd never get invited. But now I have, so, time's changing.
Thank you, Because of Dragons, for the 1 gifted membership. Thank you, Whitey55, for the 1 gifted membership. Thank you, Mr. Sven Holio, for 5 gifted memberships.
Thank you, Sven. I hope that you get given an ostrich egg. A gold one. A solid gold ostrich egg.
Perfectly cooked.
Yeah.
Thank you, or not a perfectly
You probably
good,
don't want to eat it,
gold
do you?
one. No, yeah. Thank you, John McCardle, for 20 more gifted memberships. He's gone now as well.
Oh.
We still have to give him a hope.
I'll give him. I hope, John, that you win the LVO.
Oh.
You just win it.
Whichever part you're doing.
Yeah.
Or all of it.
He took way longer than I thought it was going to take me to build.
Yeah. You stick them all on big bits of plastic sprue nowadays.
So, because what I tend to do when I'm at home is I build the base around the model. Because I like to have fancy bases because I'm a massive dweeb, right? So when I do basing for Space Marines, I use March of War bases, but because the rim around the outside's never consistent on the March of War bases, I cut them off and then glue them to a 40k base. And then what I do then is when I build a Space Marine, I find the base that fits his feet positioning best, and then I glue them on and his torso, and then I build the arms and the head around where he stood, because obviously that makes the most sense for what that person is doing. So obviously I can't do that here, and our AdMech army is based on Fallout, so it's just mainly just rough terrain and bricks and stuff. So, but I'm raising him up a bit so I can paint underneath him before I glue all the sand and stuff on.
Fair.
Because if you glue models like him that are quite flush around the outside to the base, and then you do the basing, what happens is your model kind of ends up being like submerged. He's
Yeah.
quite heavy, I imagine. I imagine he weighs the same as like a tank. So he would sink a little bit, but obviously his cloth wouldn't. That would sit on top of the mud. So when you raise the model up and you put the sand on, then he is quite clearly above the mud and the dirt. What?
You use quite a lot of mud then, wouldn't you? Or is it not that much?
It's not that much. I also use super glue.
So you can break it off.
Hmm?
So you can break it off.
I can break it off, but also like when you use plastic glue, when you use PVA glue and you put glue on it, the sand sits on top, and then when it dries, it kind of sinks. Whereas when you use super glue, the sand when it goes on absorbs it, so it holds more for the amount that you use. And when super glue dries, it dries as a resin, so it's actually harder than PVA. Also, some PVA reacts to water in the atmosphere. So I've known a lot of people that when they go, like I've seen their armies, and like the sand is like peeling off in like solid sections because it's reacted with the water and it's not sticking to the base anymore.
That's because they don't mix it with water in the first instance. Because PVA contracts. So if you don't mix it with water, as it contracts, it breaks it all off the base.
Also, when you do that, it takes ages to dry.
It does.
Whereas if you use super glue, it's like a couple minutes of that.
Dan Chidley, thank you for 5 gifted memberships.
Who?
Dan Chidley.
Dan Chidley.
Mr. Dan Chidley. We've got 19 to go, team.
Oh, we've done so many super chats, haven't we?
I know.
Where are you?
I know.
I've not been... Dan, there he is. I hope, Dan, that you win a modern day VW camper in one of those like random Facebook competitions.
That's quite a strong hope.
I see those Facebook competitions all the time, like enter for £2.50, and I never know if they're true or not. I do know someone who are those. You remember the Toms from Factorum?
Yeah.
Right, one of them, their partner won a motorbike on one of those Facebook competitions, and until then, I just thought they were all a scam.
Yeah.
But then I see the ones like win a $40 million house in the middle of Dartmoor. I'm like, but is that real? Can I win a house?
I think it has to be.
But then when I look at the upkeep on those houses, I'm like,
Yeah.
you're losing money in the long run. You just sell the house.
Sell it
Yeah.
straight away, yeah. Mr. Roger Wilco, thank you for 5 gifted memberships.
Thank you, Mr. Roger Wilco. I hope that you win a lifetime supply of Beavertown Ale.
Banging.
Yeah, I just like the name.
Dan, thank you for $2 as well. Says Legion of the Damned Kill 2 would be amazing. Classic Legion of the Damned.
Legion of the Damned.
That's some Space Marines I probably could get on board with. Because they're fucking cool.
The Legion of the Damned, there was a period when Games Workshop was in a real prime metal period where you had Legion, like the resculpts of Legion of the Damned, and that's when they did the resculpts of the Tyrannid War veterans, and you got Chaplain Cassius, like the resculpt. And I was like, oh, it's so beautiful. And then you had the plastic Stern Guard, and I remember I made a Tyrannic War Veterans army out of the metal Stern Guard and Tyrannic War Veterans, and I had some Legion of the Damned, and I loved that army.
I had some old metal Legion.
But like so many times, I think I just sold it. But then also the same times, like, why am I just like, I think I've had an infestation of borrowers at some point in my life, because I have owned so much Warhammer, and I remember, like, I don't know where it's just gone over the years. Like, I didn't sell it when I was a kid.
Maybe like your partner or whatever, or your parents have been selling it for you.
Yeah.
I've just figured out, I think I know where the Noise Marines are that I think I had.
What, on the Warhammer community website?
No, why has it gone to warhammercommunity.com? I don't want to be in Warhammer, I want to be in Warhammer.
Oh, the Games Workshop website. If you just type in Games Workshop, then it just auto-directs you to the new Warhammer.
Fucking hell.
So Dave says theory is that Legion of Damned is being rolled into Grey Knight's next edition tinfoil hat moment. What I want, this is no guarantee, sometimes Games Workshop does listen, right? What I would like to see is they redo Agents of the Imperium, right? And they do it good. And they put They have it in the same style that they have now. You can keep like the Navis nobility stuff in there. You can have the spaceship people in there, but you have an actual Death Watch section, much like they do now, but with the new Death Watch Kill Team. Also, Games Workshop, where are the Death Watch Kill Team rules for 40k?
Yeah.
Just saying.
Weird.
Where's that? Because you can use the current Death Watch Kill Team rules for them, which is no problem, but then like the Gravis guy has got 2 wounds then. But by the way, right, so like you go the Death Watch section, then there's a Grey Knight section, which gives you a Terminator Captain, a Terminator Librarian, Terminators, Strike Force, Dread Knight, right? And then you have, in that section, you have Legion of the Damned. You have an Inquisitorial section, which is not just a bunch of characters that go into Custodes, but you go, here's Inquisitorial Stormtroopers. That's a kill team that needs to come out, Inquisitorial Stormtroopers. You have the Assassins in there. You give them good rules that make them a comprehensive army. Because I don't think Grey Knights and Death Watch, I'd like to see Custodes in there as well. Custodes should be their own codex.
Maybe.
I know people want them to be their own codex and their own army.
So the thing is, and this is the conversation we have so often, in principle, I absolutely agree with you from a narrative perspective. However, when you've allowed people to have a full army of Custodes for the last 3 editions, if you then took it away from them and said, no, you're in this codex and you're restricted as to how much you can take, you are just going to piss people off.
Right.
So it's hard to get that balance right,
So the Custodes argument, right, is that our Custodes... So Custodes now do not need their Forge World stuff. Get rid of the Forge World stuff. Because they're the only army that still has access to the Horus Heresy line of stuff.
Is this just because you're too badly touched by double
No,
Claudius?
what I'm saying is that, like, why do Custodes get access to the Horus Heresy stuff, but Space Marines and Chaos Space Marines don't? Like, the Sisters of Silence stuff that was at Forge World in the Horus Heresy, the 40k version doesn't. So there's already a disparity between the 2 factions already in that book.
Yeah.
So Custodes just need to be their one codex, and they need to be more points. The fact that Custodes are a horde army now makes me physically sick. Because they shouldn't be.
I mean, it's the same for Space Marines, though, right? They shouldn't be a horde army.
Yeah, but yes and no, because the representation of their actual narrative numbers is way off, right?
Yeah.
Excluding named characters, right? There are millions upon millions of Space Marines, right? There could even be billions of Space Marines in the universe now because Gilliman's just like firing them around the universe like skills. Like everyone could just produce their own Space Marines now. Whereas there are 10,000 Custodes. And they're all out in the universe doing their stuff. Some are still on Terra in like groups of 5 at max. Like as them going out in a force should be nigh on unheard of, right? As an army. All right. And do you know what there's less of than Custodes?
Grey Knights.
Grey Knights. There's only 1,000 of them. So there should be less of a physical force on the table than Custodes. So and then like Death Watch is a similar situation. Death Watch is a similar size force to what the Grey Knights are. They're just they are just a chapter made up of other chapters. And I want them to go back to just being a small allied-in force. Because let's be honest, right? Games Workshop have to make a choice for 11th edition. And they need to make it quick. And that's, are demons going to be their own force?
Well, yeah, I don't think they knew what to do this edition. I think they made a decision they've U-turned, but I don't know that for certain.
Well, they did with the Death Watch, right?
Talking about demons, Awful Gamer says, edition of Loss, I thought it was the year of chaos. I mean, Chaos have had a lot. Have they had a lot?
They've had an entire new faction.
They had the Emperor's Children, they had the new Chaos Lords, you had the Slaughterbound and the weird Death Guard guy who's cool as shit. You had the Sekitar robots. Was that it for Thousand Suns? It was, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But you also had the 4 limited edition codexes, which were sexual. We have seen snippets of new Raptors and Warp Talons, but that's a leak. Yeah, I don't know. As a Chaos fan, I'm a bit sad by it.
They haven't had much, right? Maybe they meant, when Games Workshop said it's the year of chaos, maybe they just thought within their own business.
Did they actually say that, though?
I think they said it the year before. I think this is a misremembering by the community. This is like group psychosis, you know?
I don't think they said it.
As a community, we've all just misunderstood Games Workshop. I think, because let's be honest, I think demons now are either going to get split like they are in Age of Sigmar, so into each of the Chaos God books, and then the Chaos Space Marine Codex will just have a smattering of demons in it.
Yeah.
So Chaos Space Marines will just have Be'lakor and no named characters, but they'll have access to the demon units, right?
Yeah.
Whereas only World Eaters will have access to the Khorne characters and name stuff.
It was in an AOS article. I don't know. Ash Thompson, thank you for 5 gifted memberships.
Thank you, Ash. I hope, Ash, that you win a new car on the Facebook.
That's strong for him.
Yeah.
I like that. All Facebook competitions today. We're going to finish probably 19 members short, chat, but thank you anyway, and a big shout out to John who tried to make it work. Ivy, thank you for the $5 at the end. I asked this in the server, but thought I'd ask the top boss men, what's the best way to get a Land Raider that's not warped to fuck, just an old one? I don't think I've ever had a warped Land Raider. Have you had a warped? You've built more than I have. Have you ever had a warped Land Raider, or are they typically quite warped? No?
No, like, if you get a really old, like, if you buy one from Games Workshop new, right, they're relatively all right. If you're buying them off eBay secondhand, and it's like a 20-year-old kit of one of the originals, then it's probably going to be warped through temperature changes and weather and stuff and environment. Whereas, like, if you buy a new one, like, I don't see them being warped. Like, I still have plans to get more Land Raiders. Someone gifted to buy a Land Raider the other day.
Did they?
Yeah, you kind of breezed past that.
When
I was talking about getting one for the White Scars.
Oh.
Yeah. But, like, I want to get another Land Raider for the Templars, because you gave me the Templar doors for a Land Raider.
I did.
So I'm like, I probably want to get a Crusader for them, because obviously it's on brand.
I really want to do Templars, and then they brought out beautiful Space Wolves, and I don't want to ever do more than maybe a couple of Space Marine chapters, and I have Space Wolf stuff and Ultramarine stuff, and I don't have room for anything else.
And then...
not in my brain.
I want to get a generic Land Raider for the Fists with las cannons. I think that'd be cool.
Every Land Raider I've bought, it won't line up worth a shit. Panel gaps, blurry details.
Oh.
Biggie Hugs, thank you for 5 gifted memberships.
Thank you, Biggie Hugs. I hope that all your Land Raiders are perfect.
I think Ivy's problem is skill error.
I just can't... I've never had a bad Land Raider. Like, the Horus Heresy ones, the instructions aren't great. Like, there's so many times I've built Horus Heresy Land Raiders and realised I've built 2 sets of the same sponson. So one of them's built for the wrong side. I did that once. So when I put them on, they're upside down.
I don't think I've done that, but I've definitely done some cock-ups in the past.
Yeah,
I've definitely had some occasions where I've looked and I've gone, this isn't right. And I've had to pull it apart like, fuck, I nearly, that was
it. So I had to find a way of basically disconnecting the arms that hold it to the Land Raider to flip it to the other side. Yeah. And that was a pain.
I built a Spartan, that was beautiful.
I do think that if you are building big vehicles, you have to use super glue.
Oh, I use plastic glue.
If you're finding that the vehicles that you're building are warping, use super glue, because obviously it dries faster. Use little bits of super glue.
You can get an activator as well, making it even faster.
So you could hold it in place, because when you're using plastic glue, it takes longer to dry. So when you're doing another bit, you might find that like it's expanding in another spot. But if you use super glue, you don't have that problem.
But then you can also do it with plastic glue, but just get loads of elastic bands. I've seen people do that.
Yeah.
That works. You just have to be patient then.
Also, like, you can Games Workshop still sells pots of green stuff. It's called liquid green stuff, but it's not really liquid. It's more of a viscous fluid, you know. And you could just fill gaps with that.
Cray, thank you for 10 gifted memberships. We're now 4 away from target, Joe. 4.
4. Dave says he wishes it was... Oh, that you wish that the Macedon was a Legends unit for...
Wasn't Legends. Wish it wasn't Legends. Okay. Anyway, Craig, thank you for 10 gifted memberships.
Thank you, Craig. I hope that you go hot air ballooning this weekend.
Beautiful. Yeah. He also gave us a cheeky little super chat. Says, saw the lease video. We move every close to me making my first trip to the UK and sharing Japanese whiskey with you all. Sounds amazing.
Is Japanese whiskey good? Every time I see them mention Japan... Apparently there's an alarm on my phone. This time yesterday I had to go do a school run.
We also need to go to the shop before my man turns up.
Your man, yeah. Every time I've seen the film or television they talk about Japanese whiskey, they always say it's terrible.
Yeah.
I don't like whiskey in general, so...
I quite like whiskey.
Yeah.
I had too much of it on Saturday night.
I think when I was 18, I drank way too much Carhampton own brand whiskey.
Oh. I don't know what it was I was drinking. It was bought for me.
So. Carhampton is a village on Exmoor. Okay. I should have known when I bought it from a shitty little post office.
Yeah.
And I drank all of it, and I was horribly ill. And I don't think I've just not been able to drink whiskey ever since.
I went out on Saturday night for 3 people's birthday into town, and I got home at midnight, and I was fucking shit-faced, Joe.
Yeah. I can't drink anymore. I really like mead. So I've noticed that we've still not had any more of. Or you're the only one that's getting them.
I mean, I'm buying it.
Oh. So I thought we were supposed to get sent loads all the time.
We were, yeah, but I don't like to chase them.
I will.
Okay.
I'll just be like, I need more. I can't have it though. I know like, the cherry one I'm fine with, but the other ones I can't. This is bad for me. But yeah, like that's the only drink I can really get away with nowadays.
Exclamation mark gout.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Evan, for the 1 gifted. Thank you, Conrad Ed, for the 1 gifted. And yes, Gray, when we get it open. So the guy I'm meeting in an hour is a project manager who I think specialises in rapid shop fit outs. So I'm going to see, because I want to get open before Christmas, but we're nervous. What I don't want to do is open before Christmas and then take loads of orders and fuck it all up and make a terrible name for ourselves before we've even got properly going. I'd actually rather miss Christmas than be open before Christmas and fuck everything up, because otherwise it could be we do irreparable damage to our brand and stuff. So I'm going to meet this guy in an hour, see if there's a way in which he can help us open in a more expedited manner whilst remaining, a decent company to deal with and maintaining our kind of, reputation, I think is important. So people keep asking me, I've had this question a lot lately. Actually. When are you opening? So I can come and fly over, or I can book flights, or I can book accommodation. And I have to keep giving everyone the same answer. I don't know until I know. And I don't want to say now we can go for it and then be too close to a deadline. I'm not really one of those shit like reality TV programs where the clock's counting down for the last 3 hours and they've not finished painting the bathroom.
Yeah.
I don't want to be one of those guys. I want it to be, when we open, it's impressive, and people come in and go, oh, this is actually really nice.
Yeah.
And if it means we have to wait till mid-January, we'll wait till mid-January. And I actually don't think losing Christmas trade is not great for us, obviously, but I actually would rather we didn't fuck a launch up that gives us a bad name, because what's probably going to be bigger for us than Christmas trade is going to be 11th edition next June.
Yeah.
So we want to be ready for that and working smoothly and right processes in place and working in a way in which isn't going to trash our name. That's the point. So.
Well, we were talking about doing like before it opened, like Thane days.
We're going to do some
out like events and stuff.
I am going to use and abuse the Thanes to a point.
Yeah.
They're going to get priority for test events and test visits and test ordering on the website if they want to.
Yeah.
You have to order on the website as a thing, but you're going to get that opportunity to do that. We're going to use them as a focus group if they want to be. And it might be that what I do is I put a Google form in the Thanes and say who wants to be used as a test subject for things.
Yeah.
So when we get an order through, if we fuck it up and we don't get it out quick enough, I know we're not going to get a negative review on fucking Trustpilot and a person going, never using them again, because it's a person who's like, oh, this is them testing, I know what's going on.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll see.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Anyway, we then say thank you to Evan and Cornet Ed for 1 gifted each, and then Craig came in right at the end with 5 gifted memberships.
Thank you, Craig.
Legend.
I hope that you have access to all the vending machines that you ever wanted without having to pay. That was always the rumor, wasn't it? Like growing up, that everyone in Japan just lives on vending machines.
Was it?
Yeah, just like you could buy anything in a vending machine in Japan.
Is that a thing? Okay, I've never been to Japan. Kaz says, test discount. For Fanes and above that are testing it for us, there's a likelihood I will offer some sort of additional discount on product to sweeten the deal slightly. I can't make a promise yet because I don't know, but there's a possibility that we'll do that. And international shipping is not a thing we are allowed to do for Games Workshop products based on our retail contract. We can ship to Europe on our retail contract. However, then you'll get stung with EU-based tariffs. So you can buy from us if you're in, like, Germany.
Yeah.
It's going to cost you more than buying from a company in Germany. We're not allowed to ship to the US, to Australia.
Yeah.
We're not allowed to ship to... We're like, this isn't that we don't want to. We're flat not allowed.
Yeah, and we're not allowed to incentivize you to have someone in the UK buy it and then have
You definitely can't go into Thames and speak to one of them who'll buy it all for you on our website and then just take the package and put their own label on and ship it off to you. You definitely can't do that. Definitely not allowed. Anyway, you lot are amazing. Thank you for hanging out for the Liam and Joe show. We're going to pop to the shop quickly because Joe needs to get some food before my project management man turns up in just under an hour. Tonight we've got a live game of 40k. I'm torn between running Emperor's Children, Courtier of the Conceited, or Ultramarines in not memory of, because he's not dead, but in dedication to Brom.
In memoriam.
Yeah.
To Brob.
Yeah.
Brob?
I feel like Ultramarines make sense because I've not had them for ages, but I kind of also want to play Emperor's Children because I enjoyed starting to use them last week.
If you're enjoying using them...
I think I'd also enjoy Ultramarines though, so... Maybe I'll put a poll in Thanes or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's that. That's tonight, 7:30, with Paddy, and Mr. Joe will be running the deck for us. And then tomorrow and onwards for the rest of the week, it's normal shows. So tomorrow we've got the Warhammer show at 7:30. We've got another Liam and Joe show on Thursday lunchtime.
Actually, can you use Emperor's Children? I baited a piece of Chaos Terrain. So...
I can, yeah.
Just do that.
I could.
We'll use that.
And then in the evening there's a live game and it's Tom versus Paddy. And then Friday we're back with After Dark.
Yeah.
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 And at some point in the near future, we're going to probably put some Space Marine 2 on stream.
When?
In a while.
When? Oh, was this thing? When?
Sometime in the near future.
Oh.
I don't know yet.
That's fair.
Yeah. You got instantly excited about that, didn't you?
No, I was like, in my head, I was having a conversation in my head because I was like, yeah, Tom said he's going to play Orcs on Thursday.
Is he?
Yeah.
Okay.
Be better.
Isn't Paddy running Tau? Is he running Tau? No, he's running Demons? I can't remember.
Yeah, Paddy said he's running Demons.
Corn Demons into Orcs, I think he said, on Thursday.
Yeah, because we're doing like a quasi-Armageddon-y game.
There you go.
Yeah.
Cool. Anyway, you lot are amazing. Thank you so much for watching, you wonderful human beings. If you haven't already, smash that like button. If you could, do us a huge favour, all 250 of you, stick a comment on the stream as soon as it finishes, because if you do that, we're learning apparently that's going to bypass this new algorithm nonsense, which means that the video's not getting promoted as much as it used to be. So that's really helpful, especially that like button as well. You're all amazing humans. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you in the next one.
Bye, have a wonderful time.